Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. We're going to talk today about Adobe products. Okay. Adobe is one of the great profitable companies in the computer industry, and rightfully so. I mean, they've been very smart about going about the business of which they've done. But Adobe is in bed with Microsoft. Okay? I'm not sure, who's on top, but that's beside the point. Adobe is what Adobe is. And in all honesty, I stopped using Adobe products a long time ago when I was still on Windows 10. Why? They're very buggy. I have never been very happy with them. Now, Adobe Acrobat Reader has always functioned fairly well. Adobe Acrobat DC, I always thought DC stood for direct crap. Crashed on me nonstop. Also, if I was using any of those products, I couldn't do anything else. Okay? Whether that be their video rendering software or any of that type of stuff, I just find that, like Windows, Adobe's making so much money, they've cornered the market, they don't care. Now, there are lots of people in that industry, and I don't mean the industry that uses Adobe. I mean the who've worked for Adobe or work for Microsoft or whatever. Microsoft certified people tend to be very well brainwashed as well. There is an illusion that these companies will last forever, and it's just simply not true. I encourage anyone who has any kind of business thoughts or business inclinations to read a book called Good to Great. I believe the gentleman's name was Collins who wrote it, but I could be wrong with that. But there is only one book that I'm aware of. It's called Good to Great. And it's about taking a good business and turning it into a great business. Very few companies have actually made that transition. Most of them fall by the wayside. I know for years and years I tried to take my martial arts school from good to great, and we got close, but we never quite made that cut. At some point in time, the lack of decent customer support, the lack of innovation, the lack of bloat, refusing to deal with how heavy and bulky the products have gotten, will eventually cost both Adobe and Microsoft their businesses. Because nothing lasts forever. Nothing. Okay? Because we live such a short span of time in this world, we think that, Microsoft's here to stay. No, they're not. Apple's not here to stay. Things change. And unless the companies change with things, they go down. And these companies will not change with the times. Why is that? Because they're not about spending money on innovation. They're about paying stockholder dividends. And it's unfortunate that businesses become that today, because that is not the right direction. Okay? That's not how you become a great business, great company. Now, Adobe Photoshop is the most well-known of the Adobe products, and it has a direct replacement on Linux, and that direct replacement is called GIMP. Now, today, because we live in a world that is just so full of shit, the name GIMP has apparently become a problem. So somebody is forking this and changing the name. I wouldn't bother to do that. I consider that type of pandering to just be pathetic. But that's beside the point. Now, I am not a GIMP expert. I use GIMP every day to edit a thumbnail. That's all. So I'm not even going to demonstrate this. But this is GIMP. Now, I have it in the dark theme because, in case you don't know, I have visual issues. And dark is easier on my eyes. Well, my eye. Right? And it does everything that Adobe does. And the people who are good with this absolutely love this program. Right? And is free. It comes with most versions of Linux, and if it doesn't come with the version you've got, all you have to do is go into the repository and download it and install it, and it works great. You have a learning curve here. Right? Things aren't where they used to be. Things are a little bit different. So people in their inertia will not move to Linux, even though it's better for them. It's better for their private life. It's better for their security because there's a learning curve here. Don't be that way. First off, learning something new increases your longevity. It helps. It's good for brain health. Right? A lot of problems today with brain health. And I don't just mean the mental illnesses that are running around the street trying to hurt people. I mean generally Alzheimer's becoming a huge problem. Well, brain inactivity can lead to that. Now, there are going to be other contributing factors in our environment today. Hey, my mom lived to be 96 years of age, and she had all of her faculties right up to the very end. But her goal in life was to always learn something. She was always doing something to learn something new. She never talked about it, but she had a thirst for it. She read nonstop. She did cryptograms, crossword puzzles, all of these difficult things that exercise the brain. And she kept her faculties. So don't look at something going, oh, I don't want to have to learn something new. Why? It's a challenge. Right? I mean, you can, if you are dependent on Adobe Photoshop, as an example, because you use it every day, you can always install Linux Mint in a virtual box and run GIMP from there to learn it. Okay? Or if you're brave, you can even dual boot for a while with Linux and learn it. To save your privacy, it is worth it. Because I don't want to sound like a fearmonger, but it doesn't take much in this day and age to catch the attention of people you don't want the attention of. Okay? And that can be very problematic for you, and all because you did not want to move. So before we close this one off, remember what the definition of inertia is. It's a tendency for an object at rest to remain at rest. That's why it's so hard to push a car. But once the car is moving, it's easy. And that's the other definition of inertia, the tendency of an object in motion to remain in motion. Switch to Linux, get a VPN, dump Google, dump Microsoft, dump Amazon, dump Apple, and get that momentum going. You'll see a big positive change in everything in your life and in your perspective as times go by. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Check out our Patreon page. We've got some really cool stuff there and some great opportunities for you. Don't miss out. Come and support us on the revolution that is taking back your privacy while we still can do it. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.